Which podcast do you listen to just for enjoyment?
History podcasts.
Yeah.
All the time. History podcasts and survival podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I have one survival story. I fell off a waterfall like 6 years ago, and I had to climb out of a ravine on my hands and knees. It was a moment where I was like, I don't know if I'm getting out of here, and I might have internal damage. And we couldn't get a chopper in to get me out because we were in a ravine. It was 210 feet up. I had to crawl on my hands and knees.
Where is this, Hawaii?
No, North Carolina.
Wow.
I know. By the way, North Carolina prescribed me a lot of oxys. At night, talk about a low in life. That night I was in bed and my oxys ran out and I couldn't move my back. And I went to the bathroom in the bed in the hotel. I just laid there. I was like, this is where it happens.
Oh, you weren't in the hospital?
No. I went to the hospital.
Because in the hospital, somebody cleans that up. What happens in a hotel?
No, my sound man, John Sales, looked at me and he went, "Oh, buddy." I was like, "Get me some pills." And he was like, "Okay, we're going to get you out of here." In the hospital, the lady said, lady comes in, she goes, "I'm going to give you Dilaudid." I know what Dilaudid is. It's pharmaceutical heroin. And I said, "Listen, I have addictive issues. Like, I don't want to taste heroin." She said, "Honey, I seen you on Rachel Ray. It's going to make you do that giggle you do. Trust me." She goes, "I'm going to need to move you around. We're going to need to move you around. So you need this heroin." And I said, "Well, if you're going to give me heroin, I'm going to write a song." Right? So I got my phone out. I hit record. The heroin hit. And I went, "Oh, God." That was my song.
It just shut you down?
It was so good. It was so good. I went to a party. I had head cheese for the first time. It was a wild time. And then had a subtle issue with the oxys, I think. Right, Leanne?
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
Leanne had to throw them away.
Leanne's a trooper. Leanne's just keeping the ship righted right here constantly.
Oh, if I didn't have her, I remember saying to Rogan one time we were at the store, and, he's an intense dude. And he's like this. And he's like, "I'm so glad I didn't meet you like 10 years ago." I said, "Really?" He said, "I'm so glad you didn't come through the store. I'm so glad that you're here now." I said, "Why?" And he goes, "You'd be a drug addict." He was like, "You never would have met Leanne. You never would have the life you have." He was like, "It's good you didn't start here." I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that woman's the best."
How do you get a life insurance policy?
Oh,
with people looking and knowing what you are and what you do. Every day is a party.
You want to hear a good story?
Yeah.
So, life insurance policy, you have to do a phone call. By the way, I'm sorry for the dude he goes, "Hi, my name's ... from ... I'm going to run through your life insurance exam." At the time I was on Travel Channel. Every day I did dangerous activities. Jumped out of planes, swam with sharks, rappelled off cliffs. I did everything. Rode motorcycles, all of it.
So now you're lying through your teeth.
And so the guy goes, "So, Mr. Kreischer, do you ever do any scuba diving?" And by the way, I was on a scuba trip the next week. I was like, "Nope." He was like, "Do you jump out of planes?" I said, "Nope." He said, "How often do you drink?" I said, "Seldomly." He said, "Do you do drugs or do you do any drugs?" I was like, "In college, I tried marijuana once. I didn't like it." And he was like, "Interesting. Okay, great. Well, this has been a great interview, Mr. Kreischer. The interview is officially over." And I went, "Thank you very much." And he goes, "The machine."
Oh, jeez.
I was like, "What?" And he goes, "You have no idea how hard it was to keep a straight face on that interview."
He wasn't buying any of it. Oh, I love it. Speaking of the machine, just circle back really quick. For people that know you as a comedian and as an actor and as a podcaster, but don't know the start, it was at Florida State University. How did you end up in Rolling Stone magazine as a student?
They were trying to write an article about the school. And so he had called a bunch of people trying to get one liaison, like a chaperone to take him around the school, someone who knew everyone, and I'd been there 7 years. So he called me. I was in the middle of a bong hit. We were about to play disc golf. And my buddy Blair answered, and he was like, "Hey, it's Rolling Stone magazine for you." And I took a bong hit, and I went, "Hello?" And then he answered. He told me, "My name's Eric Hedegaard. I'd like to write an article about the story. I need someone to, and then I exhaled and went, I go, "I can do that." He was like, "Were you just taking a bong hit?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I think I found my guy." So he stayed with me for a week, and we partied. We partied like if you had a friend in town, you'd take them out.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And then at the end of the week, he was like, "That was amazing." He went home, wrote the article about the school. Jan Warner, the editor, said, "I think we should just make it about this kid." And so then they made it about me, and it changed my life for the better. I distanced myself from that and all the stuff that happened after that. I wanted to be known as Bert, but I look back, and I'm so happy that happened to me. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. That changed my life forever, and I'm so grateful. I had a few pivotal men in my life. The men that you get as a child that are like inspirations. My dad's friends, my uncle, my uncle Benny, Croy and Cayman's dad, Benny Lazara called me up. He said, buddy, if you don't take a hold of this opportunity, you'll never get an opportunity like this. If you want to try anything in life, now's the time. If you want to be a comedian, move to New York, be a comedian. Move to LA, try it now. These are the opportunities in life you can't let go past you. And so I decided to get into comedy. I talked to my uncle. I went down to Naples, hung out with my uncle. And then I said to my dad, I think I want to be a comedian. It was like coming out of the closet. My dad didn't know. I'd never met a comedian. He didn't know what to say.
Right.
He was like, okay. Are you going to start wearing different clothes? And I was like, probably. No shirt. He was like, same thing. Get him some knee pads. Yeah.
And the rest is history. But here's the thing about you: you're funny, you're fun to be around. You exude so much positive energy that if you didn't do the comedian route and wound up selling big screen TVs at Best Buy, you'd be the biggest sales guy at Best Buy and probably be making crazy money doing that.
That's my pivot. I would sell boats. I would sell RVs. I would sell ATVs. I would be the luxury fun salesman. Like you'd come into my showroom and I'd sell you the life you want. That's what I do now, really, is I sell you the life you want to live. I'm like fantasy fulfillment. I'm a 51-year-old who was partying with Jelly Roll in Nashville until 7 a.m.
Last night?
2 nights ago. And so I got on stage with him in Nashville on that big street. I got on stage with him. I'm living such a blessed, fun life that is what I try to sell, because I think it's what I'm selling with the Fully Loaded Festival. That's all I do. I bring my favorite comedians, the best comedians in the world. We have 18 of them throughout 3 weeks, and I run them in. It's summer camp for kids, and every one of them doesn't tour the way I tour. I do activities in the day. We party late at night. We wake up. We work out. We cold plunge. We sauna. We eat clean. But that's what I sell boats.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, I'd sell boats.
Yeah.
You're right, and you'd be a great boat salesman. By the way, Bert Kreischer's at the in Macon on June 12th, and then next Friday in Hiawassee, Georgia.
Hiawassee, I'm running.
Takes you back near North Carolina once again. By the way, which is one of the most beautiful areas in Georgia. There's a couple of lakes up there, and to have a lake and the mountains in the background, absolutely beautiful.
There's a little German village on the way there.
Helen, Georgia.
We're going to stop by there and get some brats.
Of course, you
Cold
should.
beers. Yeah, I'm getting ready for my Netflix hour, so I shoot it July 6th, 7th, and 8th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in Florida, and so I'm doing shows in Hiawassee to like be in a theater. I haven't done theaters in a while.